Good day, Baseball Card Collecting Nation. This is Chris from Big 3 PC, and today I'll be ripping into this 2019 Bowman Draft Super Jumbo Box. As always, you can reach me on YouTube, Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and you can always reach me by email. I'm pretty excited today, folks, because this is really one of the premier products in baseball card collecting, and I've been patiently waiting since the early December release date to hopefully find this box underneath my Christmas tree. Well, my wonderful wife came through, and now I get to enjoy a truly Merry Christmas. At some point, I'm going to spend a little time and do this product proper by putting together a decade in review video to cover how well each of the 3 annual Bowman Prospect releases have fared since 2010. A similar type video as I did for the Topps Update products. For now though, just a quick rundown on what to look for in this year's Bowman Draft release before we get to ripping. As always with Bowman Draft, this is always about the new prospects who were drafted in this past June's draft. Sure, there's going to be veterans included in the 200 card paper and 200 card chrome sets, but we're always going to be keying in on the 81 Bowman First prospect cards that are included in this set. Bowman First cards, especially their parallels and of course their autos, are the belle of the ball in the baseball collecting universe, which is why this release in particular is so loved. I should point out the 81 Bowman First cards and Bowman First autos included in this year's release represents a significant increase over last year's. It's 31% more Bowman First cards or players with a Bowman First card in this release than there were last year. And that means that the pool of Bowman First autographs and players has been diluted pretty significantly. We're seeing not just first rounders and second rounders, but most teams' third rounders found their way into this year's product as well. On the bright side, the 5 to 6 sets of insert autos and the small set of special print or smaller print autos, which are numbered to 99, heavily feature the highest drafted players. So this does help a little bit improve your odds of getting a big name prospect in each box. Overall though, I would roughly calculate the odds of pulling a top 5 prospect auto out of a box like this at roughly 33%. If we pull one of those, we will stand a chance of doing well on this box. If not, oh boy. As mentioned in my video on boxes as an investment strategy though, Bowman Draft boxes, they are basically casino boxes. They're pure slot machines that are, for the most part, best left sealed as an investment as far as I'm concerned. But every now and then, even the savvy investor amongst us must indulge in a rip simply for the love of the game or hobby. And today, folks, is one of those days. Now, I have compiled a full list of all the 81 players with Bowman First cards and Bowman First autos in this release so that I can reference it as I go, so that when I pull one, I can, mention who drafted the player, where they were drafted, that sort of thing. But here are the key names I'm definitely hoping to pull some combination of base and parallel cards from in this year's draft. And essentially we're looking at the top picks from the draft that made it into this release. Adley Rutschman, of course, the first overall pick, Baltimore Orioles. He was a top 10 prospect in the entire game of baseball the second he was basically drafted. He's that good. He has a plus hit tool, plus power tool, and he's a very solid defensive catcher. He wasn't super in his small sample size of 12 games in A-ball this year, but his walk rate was solid at 13% and his K rate was decent at 19%, and this is what we would expect from him. He's a college grad, or he was a college player who we think has a good chance of rising quickly through the minors, and his base autos are already selling for over $250 Canadian. The third overall pick, because this year's release, as most years of draft, skipped the second overall pick. That would be Bobby Witt Jr., and he'll be being, he will have his first Bowman card almost certainly in the Bowman release coming in the spring this year. So we skipped to the third overall pick, which was Andrew Vaughn. This guy also, he is just a masher. This guy has a 65 hit tool, a 60 power tool. These are projections, of course, when they're at this stage. But he's basically as good as it gets as a hitter out of the draft. Now, sure, he has no speed, no defensive value, but he profiles as somebody who can make the majors as early as this year. And when he does, he's going to join that exciting young White Sox team that'll probably be in contention. He fared well last year in high A with a WRC plus of 122, and I think that's just further proof that this guy is going to go places fast. And because his game is based around the tool that collectors love the most, with that being power, I think his cards are going to get a ton of love in the industry. In fact, they already have. I mean, they're basically, his base autos are already selling for over $200. Now, he does not have quite the same level of upside as a Mike Trout or even a Ronald Acuna, simply because of his limited toolbox, right? With no speed and no defense, he really can only add any value whatsoever with his bat. However, he could certainly be somebody who does a solid Pete Alonso impression by 2021, which would only be his age 23 season. So if he does that, he'd be doing it an age earlier than Pete Alonso did, and we'll see his cards explode even further. Very exciting young prospect. All right, the number 4 overall pick, J.J. Bleday, a wonderful combination here of hit tool with a 55 projection, according to Fangraphs, power tool, 60, and also looks like he could be a very solid corner outfielder with a 60 defensive and 60 throw projection tool. So this is somebody who could profile pretty easily as a middle of the order, studly defensive corner outfielder whose lack of speed really isn't going to hurt him that much because he's got everything else going for him. Now, he is already 22, and he was drafted by the Marlins, so those are potential downsides. However, he could be a star within just a few years. Number 5 overall pick, and largely considered to be one of, if not the top high school bat in the draft, Riley Green to the Tigers. He profiles like Bleday as a probable corner outfielder who can just absolutely mash and get on base with projected 60 hit tool and 60 power tool. He was pushed by the Tigers all the way up to A-ball, where he struggled a bit, but remember, he's only 18 years old, and that's kind of to be expected. He's going to see a solid rise in valuation if he can rise up a rank or two in 2020. And as you can see, his autos are on the lower side of the 5 players we're keying in on, and that kind of bakes in the fact that 18-year-olds carry a bit more risk. However, they also carry a lot more upside. So Riley Green's a very interesting player that we're going to be hoping to find some cards of in this box today. Finally, we'll key in on the number 6 overall pick. Went to the Padres, C.J. Abrams. I'm actually more excited about this particular prospect than the 4 above him. And that's just because I think he's the one who has the potential to just do absolutely everything and potentially be in that Ronald Acuna type stratosphere. That would require a leap, but hear me out. He features lightning quick speed. He's considered 80 out of 80 in terms of his speed projections. He has a plus hit tool, and he has enough defense to add value up the middle, whether it's as a shortstop where he was drafted, or a second baseman, or even potentially in center field. Now, the knock on him and the reason he fell to 6th overall is because as of right now, he has no power whatsoever. But it's worth noting, he just turned 19, so his 6'2", 185-pound frame could certainly fill out, and some sneaky power could develop. If it does, he's got as high of a ceiling as anybody in this class, if not higher. He also, it's worth noting, got off to a great start as an 18-year-old by hitting 400 in rookie ball this summer. And as you can see, I think that's been reflected in his base auto prices, which are well ahead of the number 4 and 5 picks already, as his base auto is already selling for like 225 Canadian. Okay, so without further ado, let's just get into it. Now, Bowman Draft boxes, the Super Jumbos, come with 5 packs, this being one of them. Each one contains 160 cards. So we're just going to get rolling here. Sorry, 120 cards per pack. Now, each pack, they considered this a pack that I just cut up. A pack that I just cut up here. Each pack is going to have one autograph card in it, a whole bunch of paper cards, and a whole bunch of chrome cards with some parallels. So, let's see. I don't know which one's going to have the auto. Okay, so starting with paper, there's a J.J. Bleday paper. I'll separate him out. Jordan Groshans. So There's lots of prospects in here. Remember, some of them have their first cards, as noted by First, right there at the top left, and some of them already had their first cards in previous releases, like Jordan Groshans did, so they're not going to have a first on there. Kendall Williams, a Blue Jay first. Leonardo Jimenez, another Blue Jay first. Okay, now we get into some of the chrome here. So some firsts there. First round pick, Davidson. Gunnar Henderson, top of the second round pick. Okay, nice chrome. Get into some inserts. I don't care a whole lot about the inserts. CJ Abrams there. Draft progression. And some more chrome. Tim Tebow, didn't know he was in this set. Bunch of firsts. No chrome firsts yet of the big players. And more paper. So front and the back is paper. And really, when it comes to the paper, we're just looking for the big name firsts and preferably something numbered. Although even the numbered cards in the paper, not really worth a whole lot. So there's a Vaughn first. So we'll separate that out. Okay, so we're going to expect then that this second half of that first pack should have our autograph card in it. So paper, flying through here, looking for numbers. Looking for Adley Rutschman. I've been told that you can expect to get a full paper set with a Super Jumbo box. So there's an Adley Rutschman, chrome first. These are certainly cards that can carry a fair bit of value if the player does really well. We're going to sleeve that up there. Prefer to see the refractor or like this card. So there's a numbered refractor to $4.99 for a first, but that's his paper card there. So that's Reese Hines, draft pick of the Cincinnati Reds. See what I know about him. 49th overall, shortstop, Cincinnati. Okay. So we're going to see an auto here any second, I would think. Hunter Bishop, that's a nice first. First rounder. Riley Green, another important first there. And there's our auto, our first auto there. And that's a Tyler Callahan to $4.99. Now, Tyler Callahan, as I recall, Cincinnati Reds, he's not a first rounder. I think he's a college pitcher. Just trying to find him here in my notes. 85th overall, actually drafted as a shortstop, according to my notes. So there we go. Well, at least he's not a pitcher. Not a very deep draft for pitchers. Having a hard time getting this sucker sleeved up. So Callahan's bases autos are going for like 10, 15 bucks. This one's numbered, so maybe a bit more than that. We get these guys sleeved. And then I think this is just an insert, JJ Bleday. Just a straight insert. We'll get those into a different pile. Okay, Josh Jung, another first rounder there with his Bowman first. Okay. And then some more paper. Okay. So that's the first pack. Not a super exciting auto. 85th pick in the draft. At least he's a shortstop, not a pitcher. Looked like I actually finished the last one off there. There's more paper. Some of the top picks there, the paper, but paper nonetheless. Okay, so there's an Adley Rutschman paper to start off the second pack. Get into some chrome here. A Yankee first. Kendall Williams first. Leonardo Jimenez, not his first. That, I believe, was in chrome this year. Franchise Futures. Insert with Quinn Priester. Draft progression insert, and back into some chrome. Bunch of Yankee firsts in this one. And paper. Oh, drop that one. Flip through this paper a little faster because, again, it's just the numbered stuff that might matter. Like if we got a good number on paper for one of these top prospects, that could matter. Otherwise, not really. All right, so we're going to be looking to get an auto in this part of the pack. And I jumped right to it by accident. Anyways, there it is. It's a 250. So color's nice. Jimmy Lewis. So he's a pitcher. I like the team he's on. They certainly know what to do with their prospects. Jimmy Lewis, 78th overall, drafted out of high school. Pitcher for the Dodgers. Cool signature. Never like super pumped to get the pitcher autos just because they don't tend to do quite as well, you know, as the hitter autos do. However, a high school pitcher to the Dodgers to 250, we'll take that. I mean, them and the Rays, great organizations for pitchers to go to and find success. So, see what the rest of this here brings us. Some paper. There's the firsts and the non-firsts, the chrome. I didn't even know that guy had a first in this. That's a Blue Jay, Will Robertson. Here's a parallel first, Jamari Baylor. Jamari Baylor, shortstop. And this is the 250, shortstop for the Phillies. Let's see, what do I know about Jamari Baylor? Let's get out of the third round here. How about that? I don't know if we're going to get out of the third round. That might be a third rounder too. Jamari Baylor. Oh yeah, 91st overall. Another high schooler at least. My notes basically say high schooler to Philly, no power. That's not too exciting. Insert, Shea Langoliers. Bit more chrome here. And then paper. There's the Jays' first pick. Boy, he is a big boy. Alek Manoah. 6'6", with some beef. Beef behind that frame. Okay. 2 packs down. Okay. Get started with this paper. Paper out of the way. Into the chrome. Let's get some numbers going on here. First round pitcher there, Daniel Espino. That was a chrome JJ Bleday first. We'll definitely sleeve that up. Franchise Futures, JJ Bleday. There's another insert there. Hunter Bishop, Joey Bart. First baseman there, or sorry, the first round pick of the Dodgers, Cody Hoas. Bowman Chrome first, Hunter Bishop. Sleeve that up. Oh, a Chrome first of Riley Green. All right, well, we're finding these guys now. Still no numbers, though. I'll roll through this. Paper. A little bit surprised at how little numbered action is going on here. I mean, both autos have been numbered, which is good and bad. It's good because they're numbered. It's bad because they're not the players I would have liked to have seen. And I may not have any more numbered autos left in this box. Brett Baty, first rounder of the Mets that people are pretty excited about. Some people. Okay, Chrome, Matthew Allen. Okay, so he doesn't have a first auto in this. This is a third rounder, I believe, for the Mets, who got a huge signing bonus, like a $3 million signing bonus. So he doesn't have a first auto in this, but he does have a Bowman Chrome first, so that's cool. Let's leave that one up. Just don't know where all these parallels are. Ooh, I see some serious color there. Oh, Matthew Liberatore. Okay. So some colored paper and maybe another color behind that. That's to 150. Okay, so we're starting to get into some color here. Grant McCrae. I don't think he's a first rounder either, though. I believe he's a second rounder. Where did we find Grant McCrae? Or maybe even a third rounder. Boy, this is a third round box. So he drafted 87th, high school outfielder, San Francisco, to 150. And then, of course, we got a shortstop, auto in behind there. So Brady McConnell, we'll get to him in a second. Let's see here. Grant McCrae, 87th overall, high schooler, so we like that. San Francisco Giant. See what they can do with him. Okay, get you sleeved up. And then Brady McConnell, base auto, which you're kind of expecting because we already got some numbered ones. 44th overall, shortstop, likely a college shortstop, Kansas City. I say. Can we maybe come into the first round with one of these numbered cards or autos? I don't know. Is that asking too much? I don't want to say it. It's a pretty bad box so far. However, we know that about these guys. We know that these boxes are going to be, usually a little disappointing. Occasionally, they'll be pretty decent. And every once in a blue moon, they are just going to knock your socks off. My socks are still on. In fact, they're on even tighter than they were 20 minutes ago when we started this thing. So we got 2 full packs to go. The nice thing about this too is this was a Christmas present. There's no stress here. I didn't make any investment in this. This is a nice free rip, so to speak. Starting to realize that the numbered cards go in the middle with the autos, which makes some sense, and the inserts. Probably don't need to spend so much time going through all that paper. Back into the firsts. Spend some time looking for the Big Daddy firsts. Franchise futures. Don't really care. Same with that one. Okay. Ooh, this pack stinks. Not even a single numbered card. Okay, paper. Here comes auto number 4. Some paper out of the way. Chrome. Do love the look of these chrome cards though. Brett Batty. First of his. That's good. And we got a numbered paper card. I mean, at least it's a first. Put that here with the Matthew Liberatore. Should be an auto back here. Ooh, Wander Franco. Not an auto, just an insert. Seth Johnson. Ooh, pitcher. Not great. We do like that he's drafted by the Rays, though. So this was a 40th overall. This was a compensation round, so end of the first round. Pitcher drafted by the Rays. Seth Johnson. Looks like he's a college guy. Base auto there. Get that sleeved up. There's our Andrew Vaughn first. No refractors or anything sweet yet for those top picks. Seth Johnson. And just back to the paper. Okay, last but not least, hopefully, last but not least. Get into some chrome. Like to see something numbered here. There's C.J. Abrams. That's good. We were hoping to see his first in there without question. Franchise futures. Hey, there's a first rounders Bowman Chrome first. Mr. Cavaco, big power, third baseman, I believe. Okay. And paper. The last hope here, folks. Let's see something exciting. I mean, to be fair, we probably weren't going to find it in the paper. So, chrome and an auto. Chrome and an auto. Let's see what we got. Got some color back there. That looks like some color. Paper. Braden Shoemake. Okay. Not the color we were hoping for. Or, I mean, fair color, but not the card we were hoping for. A few more firsts. Ooh, we got a shimmer back there. Some sort of a shimmer. Oh, that'd be somebody good. James Beard. Oh boy. I don't even have James Beard on my list. I don't have a bloody clue. Spencer Steer, Bowman Chrome first auto. Spencer Steer. You another third rounder. Let's see. That name doesn't even ring a bell. That's because he was the 90th overall pick. Third baseman, Minnesota Twins. Weak autos. That's a cool first. What is that number? What is that to? I don't even know. Shimmer? That's a pretty one. James Beard, I'm going to have to read about you. Not sure where you slotted into the draft. Will you tell me here? Not really. Oh, here we go. 110th overall, 4th rounder. Not a big guy, 5'10", 170. Okay. Then we'll finish off with some paper. I think they just put this paper in here to protect the valuable cards in the middle. Really, honestly, nobody really cares about the paper. Build a set, be done with it. That's it, folks. So, in summary, we got some colored auto. We got it to 250. Jimmy Lewis, pitcher for the Dodgers, who, you know, because of where he was drafted, not super excited. However, we like anybody who gets drafted by the Dodgers. He is 6'6". You know, 2nd rounder. So who knows? Guy was a fantastic high schooler, and now he's a Dodger, 6'6". So that could be a good card. Callahan, who I still haven't gotten to a sleeve. Another pitcher auto. Okay. And then a 3rd pitcher auto, Seth Johnson. Taken higher up, a little higher up, I think. Now I'm questioning myself. Yeah, 40th overall by the Rays. So we're okay with that. 6'1". Maybe him and Jimmy Lewis can win some Cy Young someday. And then we got some guys. We got a Brady McConnell, infielder, and Spencer Steer. And these gentlemen, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. 44th overall, 90th overall. And as far as parallels, you know, nothing too exciting on the position player front. Grant McCray to 150, and this James Beard. Looks like a sparkly one. And then for sure, we've got ourselves probably a paper set and a whole bunch of Bowman Chrome firsts. So overall, you know, not a great rip, but we know those are the risks that we take when we rip into these very expensive boxes, which I like to call casino boxes. And yeah, overall, this is what it can look like. It cannot look very exciting. There's, like I said, maybe a 33% chance of hitting one of the big top five players in the draft in this year's release per Super Jumbo. So it kind of makes sense that we didn't hit one of them. But if we open another one, maybe a Valentine's Day present or a birthday present, maybe the luck will change. But overall, just an opportunity here to actually reinforce what I was saying in my earlier video on investing in boxes. Keep these things sealed and then sell them. You know, find the right time, wait for a few of these players to hit and these boxes to appreciate in value, and sell them. Because as you can see, once you pull the seal off, you're taking a mighty big chance. All right, thank you for watching today and allowing me to help you build a PC for your big three.